and share my screen. Okay. So it's 8:02, so we'll get started. Let's get to the next page, affirmation. So let's just recap yesterday real quick. Okay. So your mind is a container, right? If you recall that, whatever you put in there, then it becomes past experiences and things like that. So we talked about the bucket of dirty water, that if you had a bucket of dirty water and you started dripping clean water in, eventually it will overflow, and then the dirty water gets replaced with clean water. Well, our mind is definitely like that. We fill it up with all kinds of dirty water, and we need to constantly drip more stuff. I mean, the world will just pummel you with dirty water to put in your brain. And then again, some of the examples, that you just think of, you have a sibling wakes you up every morning, not in a comfortable way. And then, so then you just have this of being woke up in the morning, whatever. And so, and then, and that's not a scientific fact that other people are going to do that to you. So it just becomes past experiences. And so affirmations, right, can replace your past experiences. So your mind doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. It really doesn't. When you act something out in your mind says, okay, that really happened. So you can do, and that's why affirmations are so powerful. But you have to do your affirmations. You have to visualize them. You have to say them with enthusiasm, things like that. You really, really have to get involved in that. So, that's the thing. So with affirmations, what else? Let's see. Negative to positive, right? That's always, so our goal is to change our negative affirmations that we already have, right? We all have them. We all have beliefs, right? I used the example of technology yesterday. Well, I don't know technology. I mean, I can never get technology on techno whatever, right? And that's just hogwash. That's just the belief that you've come to accept as true. Well, you have to change that belief because it's not a scientific fact. It's just that you chose to believe it. So because you chose to believe it, then we have to change it. Okay? And then we talked about the PPP, right? Personal, positive, and present. One of the things I forgot to mention yesterday was, and I always remember something after the call and say, oh, yeah, is, you have to be very specific. When it comes to things like money, you have to be specific. You cannot say, I want to make more money, because what does that mean? So literally, if you made $3 more, then you've made more money, right? So you don't want to go that route. You want to be very, very specific. So something I have written down that I read every morning is, I'll read it to you. So I'll read it to you. I will have $5 million cash and be debt-free by December 31st, 2028. I will create, and what I'm willing to do for that, I will create the greatest real estate brokerage I could possibly make. I will help people to earn more money. I will help people with reverse mortgages and refinances. I will provide brokers with software to run their brokerages. And then I got my name signed to it. And I read that every morning. So I plan to have $5 million cash. Okay? $5 million cash. I want to be liquid, not just assets. So I read that. But that's specific, right? I have a specific amount of money, and I have a specific date that I will have achieved that by. Now, I can achieve it sooner than that. That's okay. The universe is okay with that. So when it comes to money, you got to be very, very specific. And so let's see. So then the assignment was, right, to write down assignment was to write 3 to 5 new affirmations, right? So and then we also have a list of affirmations, and then Debbie posted those on the affirmation page. So we're creating a page for each one of these series that we did. So the time management series has a page, and it has all the previous recordings, has all the links to resources and that kind of stuff. So that you can go back and go through those. So if you want, you can go back and listen to yesterday's call, things like that. We'll talk more about that. So did anybody write any new affirmations? So that they would like to share. So if not, I wrote some, okay? And I'll share the ones we have on our website. So my affirmations, because I prospect for recruits. So that's who I prospect for. So I and I don't like calling them every day. I mean, I get a lot of agents who are like, hey, I'm not interested, blah, blah, and I kind of take that personal. I mean, this company's my baby. So I take that personal sometimes. So, but you have to learn to get through it. It's not a big deal. They're just not interested in moving. I mean, how many people here have received a call from a broker and you're just not interested in moving? They're happy where they're at. It's not how long after the call do you spend time thinking about them, right? So that's another good lesson. So if you call somebody and they say they're not interested and they make the call short, right? And then, how much time, did you spend thinking about someone that called you after they called you? You got a call. Let's say you just received a call. How much time do you spend thinking about them? 30 seconds at the most. But yet, when we get rejected, we can think about it for days. Man, that guy rejected me, right? So, and trust me, I have this issue too. So, but one of the struggles, one of the keys you have, and this is a little side trail from affirmations, is if you know how many contacts you need to make to get an appointment, and then how many appointments you need to set to actually go on one, and then how many appointments you go on to take a listing, how many listings you have to take to have a closed sale, then you understand that these are just no's on the way to a yes. So that, that can help you with the mindset, right? That can help you with the mindset. So the other thing is you should always stand up when you prospect. I don't know if you have the ability to stand up where you're at. I mean, you do. I mean, if you have a laptop, get a banker box or something, put it on a table. Stand up, have a list of papers on the table. If the table's low, get a banker box and put the list of numbers on there. Keep your phone up in the air, whatever. So things like that. So let's move on. So I'll share with you some of my affirmations, right? So I wrote down, I enjoy calling agents every day. Agents want to hear from me. Agents want to meet with me. Right? So I'm telling myself that. So this is what I'm doing. So I'm replacing the past experiences I've had with people that tell me they're not interested in my services or whatever, interested. So I'm replacing that with I enjoy calling agents every day. I need to do that. So that's what I need to do. Sometimes I don't, but when I get going, I actually enjoy it. I get one on the phone. I start talking to them, and we talk about business, how I can be of service to them, blah blah blah. So that's the deal. Because I enjoy helping agents, right? I live to serve you. My business is to help you make more money, right? All ships rise with the tide. So if I can help you all make more money, then the company just flourishes. I get to achieve my goals. So, but that is my business, is helping you. So, and that's what gets me on the phones. I enjoy making calls. So you have to enjoy helping your clients. You need to know that there's people out there that need your help. Okay? So again, I'll ask, did anybody do affirmations? If you could say so in the chat, I'll pick on anybody if they didn't do them. If you didn't do them, that's fine. So, and just always be cognizant of noise around you.
The only two that I came up with yesterday, Rob, is adapt and overcome.
What does that mean?
You just have to adapt to the challenges that you're faced every day, and
Right.
the positive attitude that you'll overcome it. So two
Right.
words that stick with me is adapt to the challenges, improvise, adapt, but overcome it.
Right. So you have to put the I in front of that, because remember, it's got to be personal. So in other words, I adapt and overcome.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it has to be personal to you, and it definitely has to be present. So present is I adapt. That's present. So you have to keep it that way. So on the what do you call it? The affirmations page, right? There's a page, and it's also in the script book, but I'm going to pull it out. You can see it on the screen now. So this is a page and a half or a page and a third, whatever. Scroll down, page and a quarter of affirmations, right? So what I recommend is you print these out, okay? You print these out, and then you say these every day. But you have to say them with enthusiasm, right? You have to be standing up, and you have to really, really ingrain these into your psyche, right? Let me run through a handful of them just to give you an idea of what it should sound like, right? Let me enlarge that a little bit so I can get the green font there. Okay, so today is great because I choose to make it great. My success is guaranteed because I follow my plan and I follow my schedule. I love real estate because it is simple, fun, and profitable. I take great care of my clients in Sphere. They love to refer business to me. Referrals come to me easily and often. I'm financially independent. I'm a millionaire. My mind is always focused. I am kind, generous, and thoughtful. I expect to win, and I do. I live my dream. I empower everyone around me. I create win-win situations with everyone I meet. I achieve my goals. Opportunities always present themselves to me. I magnetize success to me daily. My energy is centered and focused. I surround myself with positive, successful people. I am committed daily to improve my health, my mindset, my skills, and my business. I'm disciplined, therefore I achieve my goals. I'm accountable, therefore my business grows. Right? That's how you do that. So you should print those out and say those every morning, and then sprinkle yours in. Right? Add yours to the end of the list. And the idea is that you have to say them with conviction, and you have to believe it. Now, you may not believe it right up front, but fake it till you make it, right? You have to fake it till you make it type of thing, to where eventually these things will start to seep in. This is how I've developed my mindset, right? I mean, I just noticed one of the ones on there that today is a great because I choose to make it great, right? You always hear me say, I choose to be awesome. How do you choose to be, right? So that's something that I've taught myself to think that way. So when someone asks me that, that's just my default response. I choose to be awesome. So that's really just an affirmation for me. So when someone asks you that, so what a great way to do it. Because how many times do you have to say, how are you in a daily basis? So utilize that, right? What's another favorite one that people say? Hey, what's happening? Nothing. Really? Wow. Let me stand back a few feet. I don't want that to rub out on me, right? That might be contagious. So, like my children, if you ask my children what's happening, they say everything. They say it with enthusiasm, right? Because that's the answer you need. What's happening? Everything. And then people are like, whoa, what does that mean? Well, it's better than nothing, right? Things like that. My son, if you've ever been on a call, so it's my 7 a.m. call always gets my routine with my son when he leaves in the morning. I tell my son, hey, I love you, son. He turns around and says, I love you too, Dad. And then I go, and then I say to him, have a great day. And he goes, I am a great day. And then the next question is, whose than you? And he answers with enthusiasm, nobody. You know, that's a conversation I have every day with my child when he walks out the door of school. So, or even, you know, and then if I call them up, even if I text them, hey, what's happening? They'll say everything. You know, then they have to go into what's really happening. Because when I'm checking on them, I want to know exactly what's happening. So, but the idea is I've been brainwashing them since they were children. Because the world will beat you down, right? You watch the news, oh my gosh, that's how depressing can it get? People don't even watch the news. I mean, you can scan some headlines online, which that's even challenging today. Today's media is very crafty, where they message in a headline, and then you read the article, and the headline was not really accurate. So, but they're preying on the people that don't read the headlines. So, but the idea is everything's just coming at you. You're being attacked, you know, mentally daily. You know, to people that gained your mindset. Right? Commercials, signs, right? Everywhere. It's like, you're just being inundated with information that's not meant to help you. It's meant to help the person that's inundating you with the information, right? So, you know, that you have to control what's going in your mind. It's one of the few things you can control. It's what information you let in. Think about that. One of the few things we can control is the information we let in our minds. So the other thing we can control is how we react to information. So those are kind of like the two things that we have control over. And as human beings, as a species of animal, that's the Creator felt that those two items were so important. That's really what separates us from the other animals, right? They don't get to control how they feel. They live on instinct. So what we do is we start living off of reactions. You know, we place information in our mind and then react to that, you know, and then in the future we just pull that same information out. But we have the ability to change that information where other animals don't have the ability to change their instinct. Does that make sense? Any thoughts or questions? Anybody? So Richard, did that help you out on the affirmation you came up with? So to actually change it to I?
Yes, very much.
So what I would do is I would take down the, you know, start again with the exercise, right? When I say salesperson or sales, what are the things that come to mind, right? And then write down what they are. And then when I say prospecting, write down what comes to mind. You know, cold calling, what comes to mind. Find out what's really your real answers are. So, like, people don't want to be bothered by me. Well, not everybody does. But the guy that does is waiting for you, needs your call. There are people out there that have to buy and sell real estate, and they need your help. And if you don't help them, they could get stuck with people that are not as quality as you, not have the same integrity as you. So it's important that you find them. That's it. Think about that. There are people today within 2, 3, 4 miles of your house that are going to buy or sell a house today. Think about that, right? Go in the MLS every day, right? And just create a hot sheet for your area, right? A mile circle around your area. You'll get a hot sheet every day. So there's people every day around you that are buying and selling homes. Your job is to find them. Okay? So, you know, that we get the mindset that after making enough calls and getting enough rejection, I guess, then you just start to believe that nobody's moving, right? So when I used to train guys calling for sale by owners, I would make them call the old ones first, the 3-month-old three-month-old ones, right? So the first day I would say, here, I want you to call these old, and we'd hand them a stack of papers. I want you to go through this stack and call them, and call everyone, and then we'll talk about it later that day. So later in the day, I would say, hey, what happened? And they'd say they all listed, right? So all these owners listed. I said, great. Tomorrow, when you start making calls on the new ones, and they tell you that they'll never list with an agent. So if I'd have done it reversed, it would have been harder to undo his mind. But I planted in his brain, or him or her in their brain, that when they called for sale by owners, that they actually listed their homes before I let them call and find out that they would never list with an agent. So I was training their mind first. So it took me a while to learn that too. I got used to nobody's ever going to list. Then you start calling through the old piles, and they all listed. So in this market, it's a little different. They can actually sell. Agents will bring them a buyer, but you get the point. So does everybody know where to find this? These affirmations, right? So if you go here, let's see. Let me ping you the link. Type a message. So there's the link, right, to the page, and then down at the bottom is resources. So here's what the page looks like. So if you scroll down the bottom, so here's the front of the page, or the top. It's got the 2 lessons. It'll have the video here later today, the assignment, and then down here you have, this is an accordion. If you click on that, so here's the script book, but here's just the affirmation. Then here's the books, some books we recommended, 4 agreements, and then books and audio and tapes. These are Aubrey Associates. Then the 4 agreement, you can buy that on Amazon. Or, I actually found that on YouTube one time. Every once in a while you can find a book on YouTube. And if you can just actually download. So you can just download the audio. So anyway, that's all I got, unless you guys have any information that you want to add or questions. I know I went on. Not many people can just do a 23-minute sentence. So anyway, any thoughts or questions? If not, I'm going to go ahead and end the recording, and then I will see you guys at 8:30 for role play.